What's up, guys? Milo here. I'm gonna go over my new gigging preset. That's what I've been using on some of the tours lately, with the exception of the Julio tour, which I have a preset up for that I did on a previous video. So this is basically, okay, I have two different presets for this preset, and I'll explain to you why. This is kind of similar to my previous preset video that I did. It's still kind of like a clean amp and a dirty amp, and then based around that. But I've changed a couple of things since the last one, so I guess this is the updated 2019 one. So this is kind of this is the reverb that I have going on. Which is a small plate. Right, that's kind of like my clean. It's a Dumble ODS 100 clean. I should also mention that I guess the secret here is this impulse response by ML Sound Lab. It's the Legends All Mix. So out of respect for ML Sound, when I post this preset, I'm going to post it with a similar cab that is this kind of stock cab. And then if you want to purchase the Legends library, I do recommend it. It's great. Okay, so back to this. This is the clean amp. Right, so if I go to the bridge pickup, it breaks up. Right, if I turn down. And then I've got this kind of blend knob, which I could do the telly thing. Right, and then I can do kind of like a Vox thing with my coil split thing here. So in essence, that's kind of the clean tone. Right, then I have a delay that goes with it. This is kind of like my I guess, normal delay. Right? Foot switch number 3 is actually the boost. So let me show you what that sounds like. So what happens is you basically save some DSP if you use this instead of like a drive block. In my previous one, I had 2 drive blocks, and then I figured out that if I use a boost and then a drive block, I can use some extra DSP for some other things that I'm going to show you. So once again. Right? And so that actually applies for both amps. When I switch to the dirtier amp, that's also going to be a boost. It's a 12 dB boost, just what's on here. Okay, so now let me show you the drive. So this happens to be foot switch number 2. So on this, I'm not actually using scenes, so I'm not gonna go through scenes. So foot switch number 2, I have it set to a tube screamer, right? So this is clean. Okay, and so now the second drive, which I don't use a lot with the clean amp, I have it set to a Sir Riot. Right, and then you can see how the delay kind of sounds really nice with that. Okay, one thing I forgot to mention is, let me mute the delay. I have 2 different expression pedals linked to this, and then one of them, of course, is just volume for swells, and then the other one is actually a wah that I have it set so that it turns on as soon as I step down on the pedal. Right? If I turn down a little bit more. And then as soon as I turn down, it's off. Right? So now, okay, where was I? Let me go back to the delay. Let's see. Okay, obviously my wide delay is kind of my YouTube thing. Right? Keep forgetting to not do this here. Sorry. And then, okay, so I will get to the Y on the reverb in a second. I want to show you something else first. Okay, so the main difference between this preset and my other preset is that this one has a chorus and the other one has a tremolo. They're exactly the same preset. That's the only difference. This one has a chorus and the other one has a tremolo, just because I didn't have enough foot switches. So this is the one with the chorus. Okay. Right? It's like a kind of like a so I basically tried to match, if you've seen my kind of like LA chorus that I did with the AX8, I've kind of tried to match it, keeping in mind that the AX8 doesn't have the tri-stereo chorus. So then when I go over to the other one, actually let me do it on here. So this is the Y, it's kind of like a vibrato. So let me actually turn on the drive, and it sounds like this. Right? So that's basically that. And now I'm going to come back to this chorus because I want to show you something that I did. This is one of the cool things that I added for this preset, and it's foot switch number 7 is actually a multi-delay that is set to like a plex delay. So it's got this huge reverb thing. I guess the cool thing about this is that I always, you know, sometimes I needed kind of like a on the spot, just big reverb sound, and I hated having to hold down the reverb, and a lot of times I would get these kind of like large halls and they take up a lot of DSP on the AX8. So I figured out that using this kind of gives me an alternative. Oops, I forgot to do it on here again. I guess we'll just go with whatever happens. So, oops, here we go. Now I can turn the chorus on and do this kind of thing. So anyway, that's that. So now the only other thing is my drive, which is a Friedman. So this is what that sounds like. It kind of cleans up. Right? And so then when I step on the foot switch, it'll do that 12 dB boost. Anyway, so the reverb, if I want to take like a big solo, I set it to the Y, and then this is the reverb. All right, and then of course I can turn off the boost and then just use the drive, whether I want to go for a tube screamer or the Sir Riot. So this is the tube screamer first. Right, and then this would be it with the other drive. So this is now going into the Sir Riot. This is the tube screamer. All right. And then, okay, so this foot switch number 1 is a boost, and then the way I have this set up is actually in the cab block. It just boosts the level. So this is literally just a volume boost. As you can see over here, it goes from -1 to about 3 dB. So it's about a 4 dB boost. And then let me show you what that does. Right? Let me see. This chorus thing happens really nicely too with the... Everything you can do with eMixolydian, right? Okay, so now I think I've pretty much gone over everything. Oh yeah, I guess the only thing I'm missing is I do have a Y for the multi-delay. Which is just bigger. So I actually had that set to that really high shimmer octave kind of thing, but then I found that every time that I switched to it, I always switched back, you know, it never really worked for me. So now the only other thing that I want to show you is now in the second preset, as I showed you, it's the same exact thing, and now the only difference is the tremolo. So this is what the tremolo sounds like. Maybe for this I would set maybe the longer reverb. And then this of course is set to tap tempo. Right? And then when I switch over to the Y, it's just a panner. So now this is kind of like a ping pong thing going in. Right? That's pretty much it. Once again, this is just a clean. And I'll just kind of do some playing now for you.